Hey traders, very warm welcome to you. Alright, so in this series of interviews, you're going to see me interview Imran. So it's Imran and I sitting down talking about trading. Now Imran is a short-term trader, as you'll see in some of the videos. He's got a very specific approach to the market. He doesn't trade full-time. He traded very aggressively at one point in time. He has other businesses and other things that he's doing as well. So I thought it would be a good interview for those of you who are perhaps involved with other businesses, who are working full-time, who have got other commitments, who are dabbling trading on the side, as it were, to see how someone else has approached it and how they kind of diversify, they split their time up between different things and how they sometimes trade very actively for a period and then not, to what times they trade and stuff like that. And as with all these interviews, guys, these are people who are actively trading. The idea is that you can take one or two nuggets of useful information from them. Maybe you can think about things a little bit differently, and that's it. The idea, guys, is to help you and maybe inspire you to go down a rabbit hole yourself and have a look. No one's saying here that you should be copying these people, and even copying me. You should be copying any trader. But it's the same with anything. You know, you just take a little bit of information and think, oh, that's quite interesting. I'm going to find out more. You might implement it as part of your trading plan. So that being said, let's get straight onto it and get into the interview. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. All right, so here is my friend and fellow trader Imran. I've known you. How long have we known each other now?
4 years.
4 years? Yeah, 4 years. 4
years.
years. This chap's been trading a long time. We'll talk about his journey and what he's been doing and other bits and pieces. He's a true entrepreneur. He's got his finger in all sorts of pies, and trading is one of them. So we're going to talk today a little bit about the strategy he employs, some of the stuff he's gone through, some of the trades he's made, perhaps, some of the strategies he's done, and also mindset stuff as well. So hopefully you guys are going to get one or two nuggets from this that you can take away and use in your own trading. All right, Imran, so welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So tell me a little bit about, when did you first start trading?
Well, I started trading completely accidentally when I met a friend of mine who coincidentally was a stockbroker.
Oh yeah.
But I wasn't aware of that. And then he basically introduced me to trading, fed me a few nuggets, and then as they say, I just got hooked from there really. So
you hadn't done any, this was literally brand new to you. You weren't aware of the stock market, and this guy said, hey, buy these stocks, might be interesting.
Yeah.
You're like, what's that?
Yeah, he was always suit booted up, very slick, worked for a top stockbroker's well-known household name.
Yeah.
And I think he just introduced me to it and then just went from there.
And were your first two trades winners?
No, they weren't. I have to be very honest with you. The first 3 to 6 months was very choppy, let's say. A lot of losers, very, very few winners, a lot of losers,
It's funny because we've done a few of these before, and the recurring theme tends to be the first trade you made was a winner, which got you hooked. Like the first trade I made was just a lucky winner. Lucky Peter had a lucky first trade. You know this. So it's interesting that yours were losers. You actually quite like the process as opposed to making the money.
I think I just thought, okay, well, we'll just keep going.
Yeah.
I think maybe the first 2 or 3 might have been losers, but then there's some winners in there.
Yeah.
But if I look at it overall,
the first 6 months are pretty brutal. I think they're pretty brutal for everyone online. It's just awful. I think it's threw money away. So these were the UK stocks, I guess, if he's a stockbroker, and he just said, hey, these are good, and and you kind of start to do some research then? How did you get from that to...
Yeah, he introduced me to a few websites, you know, basics of trading, helped me set up a broker account. You know, I started off with a demo.
Oh, did you? Okay, good.
Played off with that first, and then eventually onto a fully funded account.
And you were, how were you kind of picking your stocks at the time? Were you just after you had those tips, so to speak, at the beginning? To
be honest, he was feeding tips.
Oh right.
And then I was also looking at the Financial Times, you know, general news. I tend to have a look at household names.
So that you're familiar.
Companies that I were familiar with, or areas of interest. And I think because they were, again, famous household names or well-known brands, that made me think, okay, well, I know them, I know a little bit about them, I can look into them and go from there.
I think that's a great strategy, actually, because many people start off and they're Okay, what do I, especially if you're trading stock, you go, well, I know that maybe nobody goes into that shop anymore, or maybe I know that between my group of friends we don't drink that drink, and so you can start to have a play and like, oh, well, everyone's sort of interested in this new brand of clothing, and maybe you can take a position based on that. Rightly or wrongly, you might be behind the curve, but at least it's some way of processing your information.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so that was first 3 to 6 months trading stocks, but this isn't really what you're doing now, is it?
No.
So what was the kind of transition to?
So after that sort of brutal 6 months wake up call, I stopped trading.
Right.
And I decided education was the key. Okay. So
you stopped and thought, right? Stopped
completely. Learn. Yeah. I just completely stopped, and then thought, right, we need to look at some education and let's learn to play the game properly. Yeah. If we want to stay in the game. Yeah. So I went on a lot of websites for information, but then I found that there was so much rubbish out there. Yeah. So then I went back to my friend again and just asked him to really suggest some really good sites that he would recommend. Yeah. And there was a course, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I paid $4.99 for it. Okay. And
worth it?
Yeah, definitely. Because it just spelt out everything really clearly. Yeah. But it was very simple, easy to understand, nothing complicated. Right. But it was in chapters, and you could probably only go through maybe a chapter a night, 2 chapters max.
Gotcha. Okay. So you were dissecting it slowly.
Slowly, yeah. I wasn't keen to jump back into it, especially after what had happened.
Been hammered, you were like,
yeah. Right. So I just thought, let's just take it easy. Let's start from basics, and then when we're ready, we'll go forward from there.
All right. So what was in that course then? Was it?
It was broad? A mixture. Yeah, it was quite broad. From signals, candlesticks. Gotcha. Right. Different types of strategies.
So it wasn't focused on stocks specifically. It was more a broad approach. You can use it for any market.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
It covered a wide range, a really good course, I think, to be honest. Yeah. In fact, I think I might even have it somewhere still.
Yeah, tucked away. Do you ever go back and look at it?
No, but I think there's no harm in basics. But I think there's no harm in reviewing basics, and maybe it's good to refresh every so often. Yeah. So. Yeah.
All right. So you've lost a lot of money. You've taken the course. You re-educated yourself. Yeah. What's next?
The confidence to start trading with a new account.
Right. And to replenish what was lost. Yeah. To miss the market.
Yeah. And start again, but very structured. Right. So I realised that the market was huge, and I felt that the best strategy for me was to be a specialist. Yeah. And find 4 or 5 markets that I wanted to sort of understand properly, get to know them inside out, and be confident that those were the markets that I was going to just trade in and ignore everything else as noise. Yeah. So.
That's really interesting that you came to that conclusion early on, because I think when you speak to a lot of traders, especially early in their journey, they're all over the place, and you say, listen, just bring everything in and focus. Yeah. But while they're still all over the place, it's inevitable you're going to lose money. It's almost like you have to learn. Yeah. So you sound like you learn pretty quickly that I can't be everywhere at once. I need to be a trader in these markets.
I think that came about because I was doing all the homework of finding the trades in so many different markets. But because I was looking at so many different markets all at the same time, by the time I actually came around to actually putting the trade on, it was too late. I'd already missed out on 3 trades, 4 trades. Yeah. And that sort of gave me the knowledge that this is not the way to go. It's better being small and concise. Have a handful that we can just constantly watch and monitor, and just concentrate on them and ignore the rest.
Yeah, makes sense. So what were those handful? What are the markets you picked?
So I avoided any type of currencies completely, and I just decided to specialise in the Dow Jones, the DAX, the FTSE, things like oil, gold, and a few commodities like cocoa and orange juice and coffee, and a few of them.
See, stocks are out. It was focusing on big indexes and a few extra commodities.
The main one being the Dow Jones.
That was a good favourite, isn't it? I guess, was this because you were spread betting as well? Were you took it from a spread betting approach? Just not the reasonably tight spreads on those. Even back many years ago when you were doing it.
It's not the same as you know now. So
everything's not a tight spread now. Years ago it would be ridiculous spread, wasn't it? You have to pay like 10 points spread on the FTSE. You know how good you got it, guys, with your 1 point spread now.